No, but let's do eyes tutorial. So I'm gonna show you a bunch of ways. When my friend, one of my friend asked me, can you tell me how you did the eyes on these minis, and then maybe that would make a good video. And I said, yeah. I'll show you a couple of ways. There's a bunch of ways here, from like very simple to very complex. So we're gonna do a couple. I have a couple of Marines lined up here, so we can do that. So let's start with a very simple technique here. So we'll use this guy. We're gonna start on a white base coat, and you can see. So we got kind of two different ones here. This one here, focus. It's just inside the eye started all white, and then this one here is a little bit of over. The white kind of overtakes the eye entirely. That's fine for lenses. For eyes, unless you want to do something magical, like the guy's casting a spell, it's not really, won't really work. And then you can use shades. I like contrast. Shades also work. The contrast, you have to use the ones that are not like super potent. Some of them, they're like they cover everything. That's not great for this technique. But what's great about the contrast is like they fill this space like really easily. See, I have very little precision required. And then the key here is to actually remove what you put down. So you can see this one here slightly bare done. This one looks like too heavy, but now I've cleaned my brush. Like it's rinsed out. There's no paint on it. I can just kind of apply it and then remove it. And so now this eye gets this very lens looking feel to it. And this side, the side that was more that was overbrushed, now you get the little glowy feel to it. Now this is, of course, this is very easy, right? This is like the basic step, but this is two color, two step. There's no, not rocket science. Like this works all the time. And this is much easier to do if you have like actual eyes, like with the like bulb and then the hole next to it, whereas the lens is like a full type of effect. Because when you have the eyeball and stuff, you can just do a dot in the middle, and then do just like with the contrast, and it's gonna leave the eye, the center kind of alone, and so that makes them pop really easily. But for two step, two color, and then you don't even need to be that precise, because you can play with the fact that with the precision aspect. However, I would not do like I did on this mini, where if it was like an army, like this is a test mini, we're gonna repaint over this. But if it was an army, you want to keep this or this across your entire lineup. You don't want this to change. Like it's not, some of them should glow, some of them should not. That doesn't work. So next up, let's use this guy here. Next, let's do another very similar one. So we'll do kind of the opposite of what we just did. So this one we did light and then dark. So this one we'll do dark into light. And this one is, we'll use my favorite one, which is Temple Guard Blue. And we'll go about it this kind of the same way, I guess. Where we're going to go with kind of we're going to thin it down so that it flows really well. And it might look counterintuitive to do that, like to use really thin down paint. But what I want, especially for lenses, is just to fill the space. So I'm not really worried about like precision or anything, especially with this technique here. The basic ones are really trying to keep it to two colors, hardly three, because like eyes are small, and that's kind of adding more steps to this defeats the purpose of like keeping this simple, right? So we're just gonna go and fill this space with our turquoise. This one we gotta be. It's a bobblehead marine. I don't know if you guys can tell, so we have to be very extra careful. Okay, so you can see I did the same thing, where this one very clean. This one I left a little bit of bleed, I guess, on the side. Uh, Again, it works kind of the same way. Now we're gonna wait for this to dry a couple of a minute or two, but then we're gonna use our white and we're gonna do just the inside. So now this versus the other requires precision. However, this gives us a lot more control. So now we can really play into the lens shape, right? So if it was like round eyes, like I think Mechanicus has some of those big like round lenses, then you can do kind of a curve, right? Like almost a U with your highlight. Or even an O symbol, whereas these are lenses and they're elongated, right? They're like ovals, I guess. So our highlight, instead of wanting like a line or something, instead of wanting a dot, we want a line, right? So we want to follow the pattern, if you will. So that's what we're gonna do. And now we want to leave. I tend to not use like straight whites. I didn't wash my brush like too well, so now it's gonna be very very light turquoise. And now I want to leave this turquoise on top on the bottom, right? So I want it to be everywhere. So I just need this color inside. Right. So again, I don't want a dot. I want a line, right? So if you just compare the, come on, little buddy, there we go. So the white here is not like it's not a dot of white. It's a line that's inside, and it kind of gives us like that little slightly glowing look for the lenses. So that kind of creates a little bit of the light effect, if you will. So that's again another two-tone. Now let's try to kick this up like a notch. So now we want to start on black. So again, so now again I use contrast again because it flows really well, and I like Black Legion for this because it's, well, you can use Black Template, it doesn't matter. The two black contrasts are pretty good at this, and I like them again because they flow very well. Damn it, again out of frame, but you get the idea. Fully black. No funny business. Now the drawback of this test model by itself is that well, now I did the entire lens, but the extra glow that I had going on there is still there. So that's a shame that we're using this test mini for it, because normally you won't have that, right? That's okay. We can just touch this part up and be fun with it. It's not a big deal. There we go. So no over, no over painting or anything. Just fill the lenses in black. That's step one. Now we're gonna keep our idea of doing the lines, right? So again, because they're lenses, so we want to match the lens shape. Let's do red. Red, I feel, is a very iconic color. So we'll do Evil Sun Scarlet. And so for Evil Sun Scarlet, what we are interested in is one fine line, and we'll do about, I guess, 2/3 of the eye, right? So we want to leave the back of the head black, and as we go closer, we want the front to be red. So 2/3 of the way red, with black being mostly towards the back of the head, right? Like so. So now if you can see, so the back is like kind of black, and then the front is red, and it's in a line, a linear pattern, right? Same thing here. So the back black, the front red, perfect. And then we can use super cool yellow to get this. You could use orange as well. You know what? Let's use orange. That's fine. Well, I'll just mix my yellow into the red. That's orange. See how I connected those dots here? Artist. And so now we want to repeat this, but now we're looking for an even finer line, again leaning in front, right? So it's going to be basically black, red, yellow or orange, and in a very quick kind of succession. Yeah, we can use yellow. Screw this orange color, it's too similar. It's too similar. And there we go. So now we have something that looks like this. So this works well for not only lenses, but almost all the eyes. Like, so you have the black, the red, and the yellow. It's a very interesting looking thing. Same thing here. Now, if you want to take this up a notch, now you need the white. And this is really going to give this the lens feel to it. So we're going to add like just a white reflection, and that's just going to be a dot, and that's going to be towards the back of the eye. And to tell you the truth, this is usually the place I mess up because I don't do this very often. And also, for the sake of this video, I'm not even going to change the brush, right? So we started with this kind of a shitty brush here, and we're going to keep using this one just because I think we can do it. And if we fail, well, doesn't matter. The idea that counts. But we won't fail, we'll do this, right? So now we want to abandon the line idea. Now we want just a dot of this, because that's how we get kind of the reflection from, like, if it was glass, right? And now just that little white dot there. We get a very simple lens. So that this one here, obviously, this is the way more kind of advanced look to it, but it's also the best looking one. But for simplicity, you know, this is kind of the happy medium, I guess. Sorry, I changed minis on you because I had this one lying around, but this is the same thing where we go dark turquoise and then light, or the very easiest, you go full white or full yellow and then just like a shade or a contrast in it. And then you kind of make sure that you sponge away the excess so that it stays only in the only in the recesses, and then the main part of the eye is still your base color, but it's going to be tinted. So this is three different ways to do lenses and eyes that glow, and depending on how much effort you want to put into this. So yeah, this was pretty great. Thank you for watching this video. If you've enjoyed and found this useful, be sure to subscribe to the channel and let me know in the comments if there's anything else you would like me to talk about. I make all of these videos based on the questions from you guys.